Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Sammy. Well, we got another Nerf, and that wasn't long. And there's a continuation of this drama with the temple, and I gotta say, I'm getting a little bit tired about this subject. It really is a prime example of how to mishandle a problem in a game. Sorry, with all due respect, GGG, but this has been a clusterfuck. And I gotta say, it's going to really annoy a lot of the player base, and that to me is why I am upset. I could care less that other players are printing currency. I could care less whether or not someone did this or not. Like, that's their choice. It's their game. They can choose to do however they want to play it. They can play it. They want to take advantage of a glitch, an exploit, whatever you guys want to call it. I don't care. To me, that's irrelevant. Go ahead, fill your boots. If you want to make currency that way, go ahead. It's all yours. Enjoy. My problem is the actions of the studio and the developer and what impact it has on the player base. Because at the end of the day, my angst comes from a good place. I want to see this game played by many and for a long time. And it's also a selfish reason. I want to play this game too. I love this game. I think it's going to be the best ARPG, but not if they have decision making like this. This is the biggest clusterfuck ever in Path of Exile 2 so far, in my humble opinion. Why they would decide to penalize the majority of the player base and do nothing to the top 1% of the players that have taken advantage of this and have reaped the rewards. Why you would segregate the two with this action is just mind-boggling to me. And if you don't know what I'm talking about Hotfix 13 that was just published. And basically, I'm not going to go through this because it doesn't deserve the time of day, to be quite honest with you. But the TLDR of this is basically the temple has been nerfed. But if you already have an established temple that has taken advantage of this snake and all this stuff, and the rooms are locked and they're all tier 3s and yada, yada, yada. So you're good. So let's call that the top 1% of the players, right? They play a lot. They know how to maximize currency, and they jumped on this right away, and they got their temple set up and were printing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of divines. They're good. They got nerfed too, but now instead of printing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of divine, they're only going to be printing 10, 20 divine, 10, 20 divine, 10, 20 divine, not 100, 100, 100, 100. Now, those numbers are just for example only, so don't take it literally, but you get my point. They're still going to be able to print currency, not just at the exorbitant rate that they were doing before this patch. But the players that were either didn't have the time to set up their temple, were in the process of setting up their temple, those players, they're fucked, because you're never going to be able to get to where the top 1% were able to get to as quickly and as efficiently. So the people that had their hand in the cookie jar, instead of getting a handful of cookies, now they're only going to get 1 or 2 cookies. The people that were slowly approaching the cookie jar, getting ready to take advantage of what was in the cookie jar, that cookie jar is sealed, and you're not going to be able to get to it, if that's a good analogy. This is where I have a problem with. This is why I believe this is a clusterfuck. I don't understand how you are not taking care and absolving everyone, not just the majority of the player base, of being able to maximize this glitch, exploit, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what it is. And at the end of the day, I don't really care what it is. At the end of the day, whenever you do something, it has to be equivalent to everybody that's playing the game. And the fact that you chose not to is a really disturbing characteristic that I really don't find attractive at all. And it's the first time in the history of me talking about Grinding Gear games that it really leaves me with a really bad taste in my mouth. I don't like this. This game, I will always say this game was built on the back and the premise of it being more accessible to more players. So I don't understand how this correlates with that mission for this game. You are penalizing the majority of your players, and you did shit to the people, the top 1% that took advantage of this right away. Now, again, this isn't a FOMO post. I could care less. People have thousands of divines or 800, 900, 500 divines in their stash tab. Congratulations. Fill your boots. You're going to need it because the economy is booming. But this isn't what this video is about. This is about the decision from Grinding Gear Games and what they've just done. This roller coaster of mismanagement of the temple is just baffling. They launch a product that wasn't finished, wasn't tested, too early to put out in production, in my humble opinion. So they launch it in 0.4. Everybody starts screaming, where's the loot? This is the league mechanic. Grinding Gear Games, in their defense, they listened to certain things and they buffed it. Well, in hindsight, like I said in my other video, they probably would have liked to take that one back. But they came out with a patch and they buffed the loot. And then, lo and behold, after that happened, this Holton glitch, exploit, whatever you want to call it, comes out, and now people are setting up these snakes, maximizing these rooms, and printing hundreds and hundreds of divine. And now you come back with a big nerf, and you don't touch those 1%, you touch everyone else. Like, what are you doing? So to me, outside of this little rant, which is very disturbing to me, I don't like this style of management when it comes to game design decisions, in my humble opinion. Again, this is my humble opinion. And if you guys think I'm like out to lunch, please get in the comment section and let me know. Maybe I'm overreacting because this is so fresh. But I just don't understand why they just couldn't reset the whole board for everybody and everybody's in the same boat. But no, the people that jumped on this right away are still going to be able to jump on it. Now, not as much, but they're still going to be able to. And the people that didn't jump on it or were in the process of jumping on it, they're screwed. Make sense of that for me, anybody. Please get in the comments section and just rip me a new one with the argument to that and that I'm wrong. Please show me how this is good design. And I have to say, this to me all goes back to a couple of things that I've been kind of sprinkling out there in my videos, that the 2-month cadence between Path of Exile 1 New League and Path of Exile 2 New League, this 2-month cadence, I don't think Grinding Gear Games can keep up with it. Personally, my opinion, you disagree, get in the comments section. And again, tell me I'm wrong and why I'm wrong. I don't think they can keep up. And this is why we're getting unpolished, untested content. Now, I understand all studios can't catch everything. They can test and test and test and test, but until it gets into the hands of the players, they can't see what other builds get made, what other exploits are out there, they only have so many testers. So I get it. We're always going to have issues where something is being done in the game it wasn't the intention of that. That's not the intent of the design of whatever we're talking about, right? So I get that. That's always going to happen. It's not always going to be a perfect end product. I get that. But this goes beyond that. This is so unpolished. And the performance, the glitchiness, the crashing, the lag spikes. Like, it happened to me again on my last stream. And it caused one of my deaths personally. I haven't gone back to watch the tape. But, this is just all uncharacteristic. And it all has to do with they're running to the finish line to get this stuff done. And this is the product of what ends up happening. But at the end of the day, after all that, they still had an opportunity to handle this the right way. And in my humble opinion, they chose to deal with it in the most absurd clusterfuck way. In my humble opinion, this is not how you deal with a situation like that. The people that have thousands of divines, hundreds of divines are going to be able to still make it. And the ones that were trying to get there will never get there. How is that fair to the masses of the player bases? That's the point of this video. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's just. And this game has a lot of problems that it needs to fix. Because this is also tied to the fact of why do we still have rarity in the game? To be or not to be rarity. And it also shines a light on the fact of drops and loot in this game, where because of the lack of it, people rely so much on the economy. Now, yes, people can craft amazing gear, but again, I'm not talking about the top 1% who, it doesn't matter how this game is designed, are gonna kill it because they're just that good and that smart, and they know how to bend and curve the game to make it work. I'm talking about the general masses of the player base. Okay, so are you making the game for the top 1%, or are you making the game for the general player base? I guess that's a decision that Grinding Gear Games is going to have to make, because they have a lot of things that they need to address here, and there are a lot of root problems that are, in my humble opinion, correlated to why we have stuff like this. But at the end of the day, the big thing here is that this is, in my humble opinion, a clusterfuck of a decision. Let me know in the comment section how you feel. I would love to hear your comments. And again, I'm sorry to have to go here, but this is really disturbing. A disturbing way of how to handle something. And again, maybe this is too fresh and I'm overreacting. You guys will let me know. But this is ridiculous. They should have wiped the temple for everyone. Now, the question is, maybe they did think of that, but they can't. Is it a coding limitation? Again, it goes back to rushing. I don't know. I'm not a coder, but why not wipe it for everybody so everybody's in the same boat, and the people that have already reaped the rewards, well, they've already reaped it. So be it, right? But the economy has been trashed, and now you've trashed the game for the majority of the players. And this is where I have my angst. Get in the comments section, let me know what you think. And as always, if you can like, comment, and subscribe to my content, it would mean the world to me. And as always, hope to see you next time. Take care. The opinions expressed in this video are mine and solely mine. Healthy debate is always encouraged. Hate is never welcomed. So get over it.